So here we are in the first of our hopefully many interviews of the miniature world with John Rosengrant from the USA. We would like the people that we interview to introduce themselves. So maybe you can just say something briefly about what you do, what you work, your background, and that would be really nice.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rosengrant, and for 30 years I've worked in the movie business doing special makeup effects and animatronic characters. A few of the films that you might recognize, I've done all the Terminator movies, Jurassic Park, Edward Scissorhands, The Predator, Iron Man, and Avengers, to name some of the bigger hits, and Avatar.
Yes. So I think it's a very interesting person to ask a few questions. So the first one is, compared to what you see in your everyday business, what do you think about the projects you saw on the Monte San Savino show here? Are they like relevant to what you do? Are they like similar, comparable, or is it like something that's like completely out of the context?
You know, this show was a great blend, I think, of both the historical figures with the fantasy, and I think what's great about this competition and the show here is not only the friendly atmosphere; it's almost like a party atmosphere, which is, I think, it's fantastic. I think it's very good for this hobby. I think it needs that kind of a shot in the arm, and I love the blend of both the historic and the fantasy. And I think the fantasy, the creations, and the creativity that are going on there, I think are... Oh, we have the bells. Yeah, yeah. We might as well keep them in the background. But I think, you know, the quality of the fantasy pieces and the imagination that go into them, I think are film-worthy, absolutely.
As as miniature artists, we are more like a generalist, you could say. Like we make the concept, the sketch, the sculpt, then we paint it, and then also we care about the photography, how the miniatures are presented. For someone who wants to maybe to join you in the to do what you do in the film industry one day, what would we recommend to these people? Because when you work in the film, you are more like a specialist, and you choose one trade. How do you suggest to approach this?
Well, I think there's a couple of answers to this. I think as a miniaturist and doing everything from design to the sculpting, the painting, the finish, you're making the setting, the way it's being presented. It's very similar to a mini movie that you've created. You've done from start to finish. In the movie business, it's very specialized. You know, people have their roles. I feel fortunate in what I do because, in a way, I get to do all of these things. We come up with the concept, we sculpt it, we mold it, we create the piece, paint it, and then take it to the set to perform. So in my area in film, we get to do all of these things. And I think if somebody wants to get in the film business, you have to be very persistent. You have to have talent and confidence in yourself and never give up, really. I mean, my attitude many years ago when I moved to Los Angeles was, you know, what do I have to lose? You know, I give it my all. Worst thing that can happen to me is I end up back where I was, no further behind. So I think it's just having that, have guts to just try to make it work and go for it.
Okay. Next question would be, do you think that traditional modeling in the spirit of Ray Harryhausen is more like still relevant today? Is it becoming less important or more important? Or if you think of films with kind of sketchy CGI effects, do you think it will come back or it will disappear? Or will it be something completely different? What do you think?
I think the stop motion and Ray Harryhausen and the whole spirit of that has inspired a lot of people. And I think there's CG animators that are inspired by that. I know Phil Tippett, who was a great stop motion animator. And then when Jurassic Park came out, it was like, oh my God, this is what am I going to do now? But he turned those talents of making it perform to the CG. And what I find with the people that work for me is a lot of them started as traditional artists, you know, hands-on sculptors and painters, and then they've converted over to, you know, ZBrush or Maya. And it's not so much the tool, it's still the same art. It's just you're using a different tool to create it. I mean, the same guy that does it in a ZBrush, he does it in less time than as if he built it up with clay. Same talent, same mind, just a new tool.
Okay, and the very last question. You are building and painting miniature projects yourself. Why is that? Do you draw? You know, is it something relaxing for you? Is it something that that inspires you, just gives you happiness, or why do you paint miniature projects?
My miniatures, they do give me happiness. I've always done them since I've been little, parallel to what I do in the movie business. But you go home, you're in complete control, you can do whatever you want. Film is very collaborative, and you need to, you know, help bring the director's vision to the screen. And which is fine. I mean, I'm completely dedicated to that. But then there's times, you know, when you want your choice, you want nobody telling you what to do. I mean, someone will come to me and they'll say, I want to commission you to do this. And I'll say to them, as long as you just let me do whatever I want, you don't have to pay me. You look at it. If you want it in the end, you can buy it. It's fine. But I don't want you to tell me I want the arm here or there. You know, that's all day. You know, it's a business. It's a profession. And, you know, that's part of the collaboration. But for me, the miniatures, when you go home, it's just your freedom in your own head.
Okay. So thank you very much for taking your time to answer some of our questions. And have a safe trip back home.
I appreciate it. And you know what? One more. Think of one more you want. Question.
Out of my.
Or one from the massive voodoo crowd out here.
Yeah. Maybe someone in the room has a question still stuck in their mind. Yeah. What's your favorite color then?
Blue.
The blue, like the sea and.
Like the sea and the blues. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, okay, no.
Okay. Do you sometimes feel that you want to use all these possibilities that you have on work to use them for your own private miniature projects, because you have 3D printers and all of this stuff? Don't you feel tempted to use that for your private hobby?
I did do a little bit of that where I mixed the two, and that was a gift from my wife as a mermaid. I combined all these technologies, because you know what, it's a new art. Might as well take advantage of that. I do like the old school, you know, sculpt everything by hand, but you're still sculpting it when it's in the ZBrush. It's just it's a different tool. But you know, I still love the old traditional method, you know, so it doesn't die. You know, keep it alive. All right?
Okay, thanks. So, yes.
Thank you all.